I blame de Blasio and Adams. That's where it's got to start. Welcome to Escaping the Echo Chamber. The news is broke today. Kevin Durant, is asking for a trade from Brooklyn. They're looking at getting him a trade. Already, Kyrie was thinking about leaving, was looking to do a sign-in trade. He opted into the last year of his contract, but there's still room for him to get traded. There's still room for something to happen. And with Kevin Durant leaving, Kyrie's not going to be sticking around much longer. No doubt. That's why I'm saying you have got to blame, because people will blame Kyrie. Except it's not Kyrie's fault. Oh, well, he should have got vaxxed. Well, guess what? For all the people saying that, do they know what the NBA's standards and protocol was for unvaxxed players? The NBA's protocol was more strict than New York's protocol. They had testing at least once a day. At least once a day. So guess what? Had the city of New York minded its business, Kyrie, as an unvaxxed player, still would have been able to play with the Nets, and he would have been tested on a regular basis. He would have been tested on a daily basis, if not more. New York's stupidity is what kept Kyrie out of New York's not minding its business and not just doing its job, is what stopped Kyrie from being in the Barclays Center for the vast majority of this year. That's what cost the Nets the chemistry, the season, a better record. Yes, that's what did it. Don't blame Kyrie. Blame the scumbags. Blame the idiots that decided to create this policy. Because the policy was never about public safety. Let me tell you why it wasn't about public safety. Because what people don't realize is that from August until December 27th, the key New York City, that was the mandate that kept Kyrie from being able to play in the Barclays Center, didn't require anybody to be fully vaccinated. All it required was one jab. All it required was one out of a two-shot jab. That's all it required. This was never about public health. It wasn't until December 27th that they finally required, and that was right before Eric Adams came in, required people to be fully vaccinated. So you tell me, what was it about? Because I'll tell you what it wasn't about. It wasn't about public health. And then, when you realize that, hey, they had an exemption anyway. They had an exemption for visiting players. Why couldn't home players that were unvaccinated play? And then, finally, Eric Adams makes that exemption for when the Yankees and the Mets get on his behind. Now, all of a sudden, now he makes the exemption. He had a whole bunch of tough talk for Kyrie, but when the Yankees and the Mets, particularly, I think it was the Mets in this time, because the owner appeared to be a pretty hefty donor to Eric Adams' campaign. Once they made their will known, then all of a sudden he gets rid of the exemption. Then he expands the exemption to apply to home athletes as well. And quite frankly, the funny thing is, because even after he got rid of the key to New York City, there was a private employer mandate which kept Kyrie from being able to play. Guess what about that? Guess what we found out about that private employer mandate? Since it's been in existence, December 27th, it has not been enforced since January 1st. It was enforced. There was some checking on it from December 27th to December 31st. There was no enforcement from January 1st until now. There has been no enforcement. So once again, there's a bunch of people that will say, oh, this is for safety. No, it wasn't about safety. They had carve-outs for visiting players for a bunch of time. You didn't even need to be fully vaccinated. They never actually enforced it. They never enforced the private employer mandate. Never checked, never did any rounds, no investigation, none. So tell me this was about public safety, and I'll tell you, you're either an idiot or a liar. Because here's what happened. They just screwed the Brooklyn Nets, and any Brooklyn Nets fans, hey, your season was screwed up, not by Kyrie, not by KD, not even by James Harden. It was screwed up by de Blasio and Adams. Those are the two who screwed the season. But you know what I want to see? I want to see KD sue. That would be really funny. To see KD sue the city of New York for messing with his money, because he did lose money for the games that he didn't play. Certain money that he was paid, guaranteed, but there's certain money he missed. And I think he can actually make an argument that rule actually has damaged his career going forward. Because he was trying to get a heftier contract, he was trying to get more money. And if Kyrie Irving sues the city of New York for that stupidity that they never should have done, wasn't based on public health anyway, that'll send a message to these scumbag politicians to mind your goddamn business. As always, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, like, share, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. But if you disagree with me, if you think, no, Kyrie just gave up on his team, go ahead and give me a thumbs down and state why in the comment section you don't believe in my body, my choice.